with every one of you here, right? Through your engagement with technologies and sharing with our friends from the wellness industry, maybe can you share with us a little bit more how small business owners can leverage on the limited capital that they have to become smarter and more effective over these few years? I'll probably invite Mr. Lam to actually share a little bit more before opening up to Mr. Liao and Mr. Wu. Alvin?
Hi everybody. Can I have a show of hand? How many of you are here? You are a business owner. You run a business here, or you run business for others. The rest? Educators? Yes? Okay. So roughly I get your profile. Basically, I'm a business owner of two businesses. So if you are a business owner, I think we are concerned with cost, correct? Yeah. And the immediate thing that we think about innovation is, are we going to invest a lot of money, right? And then the pain here is that some of us may have technologies that we actually invest or we get grants for the matter, right? And then we actually use the technology for a few years and put it one side and we use, right? Then we look at the technology, see, hey, what are we going to do about it, right? So investment-wise, the market is moving very fast. Sometimes some of these investment in technology are not that expensive when we talk about cost, because there are subscription model around, and there are also free model around, right? But it all boils down to, normally I would look at this business from three different aspects. First is, do you have the right people to manage the innovation, right? And the second thing is that, what is your business model now, and what is your business model after you engage the new innovation? And then the third thing we look at is how long your investment is going to last. What is the ROI maybe after the grant is over, assuming you're using grant, right? Yeah, when we talk to a lot of SMEs, we actually realize that they are wondering when the grants expire, right? What do we continue to pay subscription to the vendor, for instance, right? So if you look at these three areas, I begin with the easiest one, is the investment we look at today. You probably, local SMEs or some SMEs in your own country, you might want to look globally, because when you look globally, you will have a lot more options, all right? And of course, I mentioned about free option around. But you probably want to look at, because it's technology, let's say you talk about IT, right? You got to go back, if you're a CEO of your own company, you want to look at, are you having your own IT department, for instance, right? And if you have your own IT department, you got to look at the capabilities of your IT department. Are they just managing your email or server, or do they have the capability to go into AI or data technology for the matter? Right? And the second, if you don't have an IT department, just like a law SME, right? You outsource your IT. You need to look at the capabilities of your vendors, right? Can they bring you to the next level? Or maybe you want to look at other options like a joint venture with a technology company that will actually help you bridge the gap from maybe a hair salon chain of business into a technology business. All right. For instance, if you look at Grab or Uber, for example, are they a vehicle company? They are not a vehicle company, right? They're not really. Are they a car rental company? Maybe a little bit, but essentially they are IT-driven technology company, right? They don't own cars, right? They have partnerships. So it's an industry that you can actually model after, right? To look at the investment side of your business. And for business models, you got to look widely, because I always think that if you cross-field, like blue ocean, right? You look at another industry, maybe healthcare, right? Maybe even wellness. If you look at other kinds of industry besides healthcare, you look at maybe IT itself, right? There's a lot of ideas that you can borrow, right? And then you can look at things like blockchain, for instance, right? The other day I was talking with my hair salon, right? My guy, the hair salon that I always visit, he like to sell me packages. Do you do that, right? Packages for hair salon. But the guy couldn't check whether, because they are doing it manually, so they couldn't check whether, is my record the same as yours, right? So I was telling them, you maybe tell your boss to look at blockchain because you can look at the audit trail, right? Who has already claimed the thing and things like that. Yeah. And the last thing, the third category, which I work backwards anyway, is the people that you have, right? The right people that can help you move along is probably people who are well trained in this technology and they also understand business concept. So you need to have these talents with you if you are moving into data technology, right? But the difficulty is that if you are SMEs, we always find that it's very hard to find very good talent, right? Good talents maybe graduate from top university. We probably would not even get a chance to interview them. Because where are these people, right? These people probably they are already poached by big companies like Google, right? Like Alibaba, right? So you are left with the rest, and you probably want to look for people who are not too young, not too old, just the right cream there, right? So that you are able to further train them, right? And they will actually help in your business model. So these three things are your people, your business model, and the right investment strategy is very important. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Just now, Elaine was talking about the area that you can actually, I think you want to see immediate quick wins first, right? Yeah, because we are all SMEs. We want to see, we try something, we want to have quick wins. Marketing is one. You can have actually automated marketing, partial or automated sales will do. And but of course, when you come out with your business strategy, you got to change your strategy a little bit to meet the technology era. For instance, if you have been trying salon, they always sell $3,000, $2,000 packages, all right? And then people are not buying that anymore because they actually can use their app, right? And then you can actually slice your promotion, for instance, right? Using an app for marketing. In the end, over 2 years, they still, maybe over 1 year, they still spend at your store $3,000, right? But actually they feel happier because every time they pay a little bit through the apps, and then you also cut down on your manpower costs and also your because of the efficiency of the payment system, right? And then the payment system automatically might have royalty programs. Sometimes those platforms they help you retain customers, right? And sometimes because they get these points from some other vendors that buy some other maybe food product. They get the points and then they use at your place. So you got to look not just vertical integration. You can actually look horizontally. Yeah, then you got more options in your business strategies that can link to your technological assets. Yeah.
So, in the essence of time, I'll probably pose one last question to wrap up the entire series. Maybe the experts here will be able to give one final advice to all the SMEs out there who are trying to take their first step towards digitalization. What advice would you give to SMEs who are trying to take their first step towards this whole process?
My advice will be look for the left and look for the right. I mean, there are existing guys that you should be talking to, right? If you have a business sense, you have all your business model, what is working for you, don't disrupt it. Ask them how they can improve it for you. I think that's the best. Of course, you're going to pay some money. I mean, nothing is for free now. All right, the government is not going to help you much. But I think they will work something out that will tailor to your advancement of your business, as well at the same time, when you expand, then they will tell you, this is scalable. This system, this device is scalable. And you will be able to monitor, maybe next time you want to be 5 salon, you're from 1, you're going to be 5, and the whole system can allow you to monitor 5. You know, well, why not? Talk to them. I think that's the best part. Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing what you want is very important, right? As a person, as a business owner, I find that a lot of SMEs boss actually don't know what they want. They're just surviving, correct? So you need to know what you want because your people is looking at you. Hey, boss, what do you want, right? Yeah. If you do not give them a vision. Very basic things like your vision and your mission, you do not give it to them, they will leave. Right? So you need to know what you want, and then you need to know where you are now, and then where you are going, right? So you need to settle the people portion first. right? And your people will support the technology that you use.
Okay, the official government message will be, you can go to the SME center. There's Chinese Chamber, Malay Chamber, Indian Chamber, ASME. All the SME center, there will be a consultant that is able to provide you guidance on what you can do. There's also the industrial transformation maps that you can actually refer to that is related to your industry itself. So that will give you some level of guidance about what kind of technology tools that you can adopt to move into the future itself. I think the logical thing would be, okay, you try to find 2 or 3 vendors that is probably doing in the trade that you are doing with, and then you talk to them. Let them share with you what are some of the things that they have done, the case studies, okay, and then compare what is the pros and cons and what kind of scenarios actually suits you best as a business itself. Okay, and then also you need to think through, is your staff ready to take on this transformation together with you? Yeah, you can't force down a technology transformation and implementation if your staff are not willing to go through with you. So you really have to think from all these angles first. Yeah, so that will be the advice I would give.
At this point, I guess it's time to actually offer our thanks to the speakers with a round of applause. Thank you.
Timing. And Ziming already talk about the technology. I'll talk about the digital strategy that bosses will need to have. All right? Because some of you has different market segment and different kind of customer. So I give you 3 strategies. Right? First is a very focused strategy. If you have customers, for example, in your salon, we know the 80-20% rule, right? 20% of customer pay 80% of your revenue, right? Those who like you always come back to you, right? But do you know how they feel? Every time you push them a package, for instance, right, you sell them a package, and how do they feel? Do they feel satisfied or very happy, or would they refer other customers to you? You won't know, right? But there are data points that you can collect from them. Right? Like facial recognition, how they feel, survey outs. Maybe you already have this data, but you never organize. Right? This is where AI can come in actually to help you predict how this person will feel next month when his package is always up. Or maybe his package 2 years later than up, but you already can predict that's even better, right? In 5 years. So that is a very focused strategy if you have a market segment like this. Right? Another way is that if you don't have that kind of market segment, you can look at like what most SME do, right? We look at cost cutting, right? Cost cutting. Then you bring technology to cut costs, but be very careful. Just now, Jeremy talked about the feelings of your employees, right? The natural reaction is that your human employee will say, are you going to use robots to replace me? Right? So you need to go through education to retrain your employees' mindset. That you are not there to just cut them in this cut cost. No, you tell them you're going to reprofile them, they're going to learn new skills, right? This new skill will last you longer, right? And then you probably don't just cut hair, you can become a hair artist. Is that right word?
Yes,
right? And then you can do more things, right? And you can become a data analyst for hair, right? If you are going for that track. And the third one that I'd like to give you is a bit more long term. If you want to differentiate your business from the competitors. But for this, you need what Ziming say, right? You need a tech strategy guy or tech strategy company that walk you through this, because it's long term and technology change very, very fast every year. All right. So if you want to differentiate your business, your salon business, differentiate it from other business, you as a CEO, you got to think very carefully. You got to work on your short-term strategy, your long-term strategy. You need to have not just you alone. If you have senior management and your managers, you need to have consensus meeting with them. You need to get a buy-in from them. Then you can go to the market to differentiate your business. That's what we think is important. Yeah.
Okay. I just came back from China recently.
The question I always ask my client is that, what if there is no grant? What would you do if there's no grant? You are the business owner, right? If there's no grant, what will you do? And then as a business owner, if you want to expand your business, you know you have to find the right technology to protect your data, right? And then you are there in a dilemma. Should I pass my data to the vendor? Are they trustworthy, right? Or should I manage my data as my business grows and I kind of cannot handle anymore, right? And then there is, what if there's no grant factor in? So I actually have a solution. But the way we work this out, maybe it's a longer route, is to find the right partner, technology partner that understands your business, form a joint venture, why not? Right? You can have share in this company, it can be become your subsidiary. You can safely pass your data to this company. It's your company, it's a joint venture. Right? That is one way you can actually solve the problem. But you also you need to have a different mindset. Alright? Because your business structure may not be fitting for this, so you got to actually work backwards and recraft your business structure so you can actually accept more partners, for instance, and there are people you can trust. And you may actually do very well with a grant. Hard to say, right? And then when there's a grant, it's a bonus. It's not that your business depends on grants to survive. It's very important mindset. Yeah.
Systems. Is that notion true?
It depends, right? I go a bit more techy. Let's say you are talking about programming languages for data analytics, right? And then assuming you already got your IT vendors or your IT staff, there are three options. Programming language like, for example, R programming is free, open source. But you need good people who has knowledge to implement them, right? And then you got the SAS, right? Which you need to pay a little bit, right? But it's good for statistics things. Then there are a bit more premium one like the SPSS systems where you really have to pay a bit more for subscriptions. So they're actually freemium, right? There is also easy to use paid version. Yeah, so all these are available in the market. But to make a concluding statement here is that what I feel is that it's very much like swimming, right? Now you hear about everywhere, every conference you go, you hear about data analytics, AI, your company should invest in new data technology. But from a strategy point of view, I feel that if you see a lot of people swimming, you don't jump into the water and start kicking, splashing water and tell people, hey, I'm also an AI company, I'm also a data technology company, right? It doesn't mean you know how to swim, you're just splashing water. So you have to know the touch point of your assets very well, how this will link to technology, right? What are things that can actually bring you forward? What will actually be just investments that will not